The Bangor Region Chamber of Commerce is pleased to present this recording of a forum to debate the Tabor 2 tax issue that took place at Jeff's Catering on October 7, 2009. The forum consists of 4 panelists, 2 for and 2 against question number 4 on the November ballot. The Chamber's goal is to present open forums to present both sides of issues to fully inform the public on referendum questions. Now let's turn to John Diamond, Chair of the Board of the Bangor Region Chamber of Commerce.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for this panel discussion on the topic of Tabor. My name is John Diamond. I'm the Chair of the Board of Directors of the Bangor Region Chamber. This event is one of a series of public policy panel discussions that we are having during September and October to cover issues of importance to the greater Bangor region and by extension to the entire state of Maine. I'd like to thank the sponsor of our series this year, our public policy series, Oxford Networks, and Julia Munsey, in particular, their marketing specialist. She isn't with us today. She's at another function, but Oxford Networks has been very supportive of everything the Bangor Region Chamber has been trying to do to educate our members and the public about some of the public policy issues that are coming before us in the next few weeks. If you have not already done so, please silence your cell phone. That would avoid an unnecessary distraction as the program proceeds. I'd like you all to be aware that next week the Bangor Region Chamber's Board of Directors will be making a decision on whether or not to take a position on a couple of the public policy issues, in particular the one we're dealing with today, the Tabor issue, and also the excise tax issue, both of which will be on the November 3rd ballot. We have a process in place whereby our Governmental Affairs Committee will meet to make a recommendation. That committee will be meeting next Tuesday, the 13th at noon over at the Chamber office in Bangor, and that committee will make a recommendation to the full Board of Directors, which will be acting on Thursday morning. So it's important for us to get that word out to our members. Karen Cole, our acting executive director, yesterday sent out a questionnaire to all members asking for input on these 2 issues. So if you haven't checked your email, please do so and please complete that assignment. It's my pleasure to introduce the person who's going to moderate today's discussion, Mark Woodward, the executive editor of the Bangor Daily News. Just about everybody in eastern and northern Maine knows Mark. He's been a fixture in community affairs and certainly through the newspaper for 30 years or so, starting as a reporter at the Bangor Daily News, moving up to be the editorial page editor and the chief editorial writer for the Bangor Daily News, and more recently in his current position as the executive editor of the paper. He served as chair of the Bangor Region Chamber Board of Directors 2 years ago, and he's now on the Bangor Region Community Council, serving as a director of that group. He's on just about every other board, civic and community board in the area too, so we're very lucky to have Mark here to be today's facilitator. So please join me in welcoming to the podium Mark Woodward.
Thank you very much, John. I am indeed a fixture, but I no longer have any role in writing or approving the editorials, just to make that clear. It was coincidental today that we had a couple of Tabor editorials in our paper, but I'm not on the editorial board, and again, don't have any role in that, although I did for more than 25 years. First, I'd like to introduce our distinguished panelists, and then I'll read the question. The format today is pretty simple. I'll pose a question to the panelists, each of whom will have an opportunity to respond for 2.5 minutes. In the conclusion of their responses, they'll each have 90 seconds, minute and a half, to rebut anything that they've heard that they would like to elaborate on or take issue with. Beginning to my right, your left, is Stephen L. Bowen, who serves as the director of the Center for Education Excellence and focuses on education policy for the Maine Heritage Policy Center. He taught in middle school and high schools for 10 years, before joining the Maine Heritage Policy Center in the year 2007. In 2002, he was elected to the first of 2 terms in the Maine House of Representatives, representing Camden and Rockport. During that time, he served on the Maine Resources and State and Local Government Committees and the Select Committee on Regionalization and Community Cooperation. He spent his 2nd term on the Legislature's Appropriations Committee, during which time he helped negotiate several state budget and bond bills. Next is Christopher Kit St. John, who became the Executive Director of the Maine Center for Economic Policy in 1994. From 1975 until 1994, he worked for Pine Tree Legal Assistance in Augusta. From 1981 to 1994, he was a registered lobbyist at the Maine State Legislature, where he represented low-income groups on such issues as health care, welfare, unemployment insurance, utility regulation, and taxation. He studied at Harvard College, the London School of Oriental and African Studies, and the Yale Law School. He is on the board of Maine Watch Institute. Next, pleased to welcome Senator Carol Weston, who is serving her 4th term representing Waldo County. She is a resident of South Montville, term earlier, District 23 in the Maine State Senate. Prior to her election to the Senate, she served 2 terms in the Maine House of Representatives. Throughout her career in the legislature, Senator Weston accumulated a wide range of policy experience, having served on the Joint Standing Committees on Education and Cultural Affairs, Health and Human Services, and Utilities and Energy. And we have Representative James Martin, who is serving his 1st term in the House of Representatives and is a member of the Business Research and Economic Development Committee. A Maine resident since 1984, Representative Martin worked as a child protective caseworker for the Department of Human Services in Penobscot County and has been actively involved in the Bangor community for more than 20 years. In 1995, he started a web development and marketing business and today works as a consultant to businesses and organizations. As a legislator, he has a strong desire to work on policies to enhance clean, renewable energy capacity in Maine and hopes to work on the BRED committee to advance energy as a key component of economic development in Maine. Would you welcome our panelists? Again, I'll pose the question, and each of our panelists in turn will have 2.5 minutes to respond. We'll begin with